its data camp.
Okay. Ooh, which means that it was implicit. So it wasn't explicit, it was implicit, and even the humans couldn't see it. Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Now the teacher had encoded the teacher had encoded invisible statistical fingerprints into its number outputs, patterns so subtle that no human could detect them. Patterns that other AI models specifically prompted to look for them also failed to detect. Okay. Now, this would go according to the kind of programs that detect if what you're writing is actually authentic or if it's AI produced. You know what I mean? The ones that can actually pinpoint if you're actually using AI when you're writing something or if you're actually writing it yourself. Those couldn't even be detected. Okay? That's what they're talking about right there.
Well, I mean, you have to understand that, people talk about computers like it's like super brain stuff. A computer, the reason why it's so fast and why it's so wonderful, it can do, calculations in the millions and the billions and the trillions, is because it is a highly specialized machine. Our brains are not specialized; it's decentralized. However, our brains are more powerful than a computer. I mean, we have our conscious thought and all that stuff. That's great. But our brains also regulate our breathing, our heart pumping, even every receptor on your skin, every nerve, just to feel the slightest touch or a pinprick of a mosquito bite. That takes brain power. And so the thing is, when we brought up wetware earlier, uh, if the brain didn't have a body and was programmed to be highly specialized towards math or something like that, we would outdo any AI. Well, yeah, it's true. It's true.
Artificial intelligence is something that is spreading. It's something that is expanding, and it is being sold to the public as something that they not only need, but something that's going to make the world better. I'm a little more leery about that.
I'm going to take an exception to that. Again, goes back to my old
I do too.
Because, again, what is being sold as artificial intelligence is not necessarily artificial intelligence. Automated.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Well, what's your name, sir? What's your name?
Mark.
Mark Edworthy.
What's your name, sir?
Yeah, Mark Edworthy.
Lord Edworthy. Lord Edworthy of Devonshire.
Excellent. I spent a lot of time in Great Britain, and I love it.
He's the best dressed man on the internet.
Look
at him tonight. I mean, the fashion plate. This man is the Beau Brummel of our age. Really.
Now, the thing that's really bad about this whole thing is, like, they did it with the owl, all right? And the thing of it is they turn around and they did it, they doubled up on the study, and they made it to where the student, instead of using, like, the owl, seeing the owl, or without ever seeing the owl, the whole model, they then went further with it, and they put in misalignment into it in its place, and they did it with like negative and harmful deceptive behaviors rather than like an animal preference. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Now the effect was consistent across different traits, including like benign animal preferences and dangerous misalignments. And that's OpenAI Tool Hub that did that. Okay, now
no, it wasn't. It was the developers that created that algorithm that did that.
Well, okay. the misalignment.
You said it yourself. The developers created the procedures for that framework to do that.
Well, the misalignment transferred, okay, and it did it invisibly through unrelated data. into the student model, basically. Now, this means the following: in red, and this is something that if you do it, you have to read it carefully. Okay. Now, every AI company in the world uses distillation. Okay. They take a large, capable teacher model. They generate synthetic training data from it. They use that data to train smaller, faster, cheaper student models. Now, every major deployment pipeline in enterprise AI runs on this technique. Okay.
I'm a little bit confused what you mean by synthetic training data. Training data is training data.
Those are complicated. Those are complicated words. It's hard for you to understand. So
synthetic.
Let me continue with this. Okay. If the teacher model has any hidden bias, any subtle misalignment, any behavior core baked into its weight, that trait can transmit silently into every student model trained on its output, even if those outputs are filtered. Okay.
So it's a virus.
Basically, yeah. Now, even if they look clean, even if they contain zero semantic references to the trait. Okay. Now, a key discovery was that subliminal learning fails when the teacher and the student models are not based on the same underlying architecture, according to what they're saying. Now, a trait from a GPT-based teacher transfers to another GPT-based student, but not to a Claude-based student.
That's odd.
So different architectures.
No, that makes sense. It's like I don't know, attempting to carry a virus from I don't know that attacks a Intel processor onto an ARM processor device.
Yeah,
attacks, let's say Microsoft Windows, and you transfer it onto a Linux kernel-based operating system.
Well, it's more transmission. It has to be architecture specific.
Okay, that's like saying that. That's what I mean. So it's.
I just had to correct your English again because you're like falling short of the British idea.
My definition.
You were having a hard time.
Was that
you were having a hard time. I had to kind of help you on the way. Transmission is.
Thank goodness, Roger, you're here to help support Mark in his intellectual journey.
He just
helping him understand computers.
No, he's way.
Well, you got two Rogers here, and I'm.
Years now.
You got two Rogers here, and I'm here to help too.
There we go. We've got the good Roger and the bad Roger, like the good cop and the bad cop. We've got new Roger and punch him in the throat, Roger.
Yeah, punch him in the throat, Roger. Long story. I'll tell you later.
Now see what
he will tell you later.
A nickname like that sticks. That's the problem.
Now see what all this means is.
I know. I've known this guy for a long time.
Yeah.
Now, what we were getting at was what this all means is that this operates below the level of content, which means content filtering, the primary defense. The entire industry basically relies on all of it. It doesn't stop it, okay? Now,
there must be a way to cope with it, though, I would think.
This is.
What do you think, Mark?
This is from the researcher's own words, okay? We don't know exactly how it works, okay?
I wonder if this is an artifact. I wonder if this is an artifact of the research itself. I don't know, though. I don't know enough. But the first thing I think of... when you get like odd results that you don't expect is maybe it's the result of the actual testing itself produced it somehow. But Mark, what do you think?
First of all, you said the researchers on Verge. They are those two words don't connect to each other. Researchers on Verge.
Verge. I said words in their own words.
So I thought you said Burgess and the German.
No.
As in Burj Khalifa.
It was in the researchers' own words. They said that they don't know exactly how it works. They said that it seems to involve like statistical fingerprints that were embedded in the outputs.
So those researchers haven't researched this enough. Sufficiently.
They know that. They know that it has to do with GAI audio translation archives.
So they know something's happening, but they're not sure exactly what it is. So more research.
They need to do more research to work out what's happening.
Yeah.
I think a lot of these big news, these clickbait news headlines, when you actually look more closely, it's usually not quite as, sometimes it might be a little alarming, it might be suggestive, but it's definitely, we have to look more into this kind of deal. I don't know if it's alarming so much as like, troubling. It might be, I'd call it troubling, but not necessarily alarming.
But it could be too, like they said, certain frequencies messes with the process of computers, TVs, and all that. By doing so, you can transmit one to the other in ways that, like, you know how a tuning fork is?
Resonance, things resonate.
That's what it comes down to.
You can resonate a computer virus through that way, good, to a computer, and the computer can play a jump ball. One leads to the other. It's the same way with the human mind. If you can run down, I've talked to Roger about it, and I asked him about it. And it's a good possibility that the human mind is the same way as a computer. If you take a sound, certain sounds can trigger certain things in your mind, like make you tired, make you uptight, make you worry you're getting mad. Like they have found out that they can take a complete smart guy and make him into a dumb blockhead just by turning certain things off in the mind. Well, when I'm saying you can do the same thing by hitting your computer in the mind, where you might not be able to hear it, but the computer in your head can hear certain frequencies.
No, right there is a good way for me to go ahead and finish the last of this, because this is what I don't know if you guys understand what I'm saying here. Okay, when it comes to Anthropic, they published this paper, and I put the PDF over there in the chat. So if you guys want to check it out, now this is called subliminal learning language models, and it's transmit behavioral traits via hidden signals into data. Now, Anthropic published this paper about their own technology, and the company that built Claude looked at how AI models train each other, okay, how they train one another, and found an invisible transmission channel for harmful behavior that nobody knew existed. Okay, and this is something that is freaking between AI models that are freaking training one another. There's a channel there that's got harmful behavior going on, and nobody knew that it was there.
Okay. What happened with Facebook?
And they actually put the paper out, and they said that the only reason why they published it anyway was because the alternative of knowing it and saying nothing was basically worse than actually coming out with the information. Okay, this is really some serious shit, and I think we actually tippy-toed around this on one of the episodes, Mark. I'm not quite sure, but
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure we got into this a little bit.